Hello everyone, my name is Walter, and I'm here to bring you more of Lucas Werner, aka The Wern, aka Cute Older Daddy. That last one is the name of his new website, cuteolderdaddy.weebly.com, and I would recommend just typing in the URL if you're going to go there, because if you Google it, all that comes up is gay porn. I logged out of Google to try this, so I don't think it can be my fault. So we can already tell he's picked a great name for himself. If you don't know who Lucas is, I have 4 videos on him already. One of them is even on this channel, so I'll link to it. But he's a man of almost 40 who is absolutely obsessed with Generation Z girls. You'll get the idea. Anyway, I've asked on a video and a stream, and people keep telling me I should in fact do this, so today we're going to be reading the frequently asked questions from his new website. Let's begin with Lucas Werner, Cute Older Daddy FAQs. So Lucas is willing to answer questions for $5 a piece, like any good anarcho-communist who hates money and capitalism. However, I don't think anyone has paid for him to answer a question yet. These are just the ones that he wanted to answer. Well, let's go. Wouldn't me finding a girlfriend between 18 and 24 cause this information to spread rather quickly to other young women, thus swaying young women from dating men under 40? I've mentioned this before, but he used to say men under 35. Looks like now that he's 40, he's throwing the men between 35 and 39 under the bus. Question: why did you create this website? Answer: I want to get married and have kids. Most people want to get married and have kids. I have hurdles. Question: how old are you? Answer: I'll be 40 on November 27th, 2019. Question: you're a delightful person. Some guys sing songs about wanting a girlfriend until they have a girlfriend. Why aren't these chicks dating you? Answer: bigotry. Because they're ageists. Question: aren't you also an ageist? Answer: reverse ageism is like reverse racism. It's a right-wing talking point from bigots trying to uphold the fully ridiculous status quo of the establishment. Here's me reading from a list of bigots with a valid opinion. Okay, he's going to keep using this picture throughout the questions. I think it's from Community, but I'm not hugely familiar with the show. More importantly, I have no idea what he's talking about here. Lucas complains about gray-haired old men, which would even make him ageist by his own standards. Question: why are there so many ageists now? Answer: the marketing of youth entitlement culture since World War I killed so many young people, the lost generation, that the corporate gulag drummed up popular support in order to pitch useless products like we see on Amazon today, which lead to the stock market crash of 1929, leading to the rise of fascism, American and Soviet imperialism, and guerrilla dictatorships, coupled with telomere attrition for several generations of young fathers from this gimmick, making people more receptive to and accepting of false information. Ignorance is when you don't know. Stupidity is when you know but refuse to accept the truth. When you think about it, Strickland in Back to the Future was the good guy. He was just trying to make sure Marty got a good education and they laughed at him behind his back. But when he faced them, they respected him. Question: didn't you used to hit on 16-year-old girls? Answer: years ago, yes, which is legal. Again, I've encountered bigotry, but as you can clearly see from the image on the home page, 18-year-olds are better. Not only that, birthing mothers under 18 often encountered childbirth complications. Washington Age of Consent Laws 2019. I love when people defend themselves by posting age of consent laws and still tell you not to call them creepy. Question: isn't a 40-year-old hitting on 18-year-olds still kind of creepy? Answer: that picture of Cheng again, so he's calling us bigots for saying that, basically. Question: who the hell would date a homeless guy? Answer: a lot of homeless people have significant others. I used to live in homeless shelters 3 years ago. I currently live in what's known as an apartment. Question: you're poor. Who's going to date someone who lives in poverty? Answer: a lot of people. 61% of people between 18 and 24 in 2019 have unfavorable views of capitalism. I also make and sell board games. Please click the pink image on the homepage. Gen Z prefers socialism to capitalism. I love how he's talking shit about capitalism and the very next sentence is talking about selling his board games. That cracks me up more than the $5 a question, actually. Question: do you have MRSA? Answer: no. Question: won't the fact that you have bipolar and diabetes pass on to your kids? Answer: less so due to being 40. The risk of both is fairly low anyway. Longer reproductive transport cell telomeres lowers that risk significantly. I have a superpower. In one regard, I'm more of a superhero than Batman. As a matter of fact, Bruce Wayne is worth $9.2 billion, while Wayne Enterprises is worth $31.3 billion. If Batman really wanted to get rid of crime in Gotham, he'd redistribute a lot of that excess wealth to the poor. I'm sure I could live quite comfortably on a scant $1 billion for the rest of my days. Oh, you could make ends meet with $1 billion for the rest of your life? You don't say. Question, you're obese. Who's going to date a fat guy? Answer, I had a girlfriend 10 years ago when I weighed 400 pounds. I've lost 200 pounds since then. Dad bods are hot. Call me crazy, but I don't think this is what women are talking about when they say dad bods. Question, would you ever date an older woman or women your own age? Answer, no longer. I have 8 ex-girlfriends. 4 were my age or less than a year younger. 4 were older by 1 week, 2 years, 12 years, and 18 years, in chronological order. One of them also weighed 300 pounds, which wouldn't be healthy for my future because I used to weigh 200 pounds heavier than I am now. Sounds to me like you're a bigot. Let me check the list again. He always says he used to weigh 400 pounds and then lost 200, implying that he weighs 200 now, but I don't think he accounts for how much weight he's gained back or something like that. Oh yeah, and he checks the list again. Question, aren't you kind of acting desperate? Answer, dollars to donuts, you're a hypocrite. I offered Churchill's Steakhouse. You turned me down. I blocked you on Facebook, precisely because I'm not that desperate. I'm not going to stick around while you get with other dudes and waste my time. Now I'm offering sushi or artisan pizza because I'm tired of people who worship money. 61% of people your age know what's up. Socialism is hot. You're desperately coming off as far too conservative and narrow-minded for my liking. You have more in common with most baby boomers than my beautiful Generation X self, millennials, and most of Generation Z. I'm tired of people who worship money. Let me just bribe you by buying you food instead. Personally, I fail to see the difference. Question, doesn't charging money for people to ask you a question make you a capitalist? Answer, not necessarily. A lot of people who work belong to unions, which makes these workers socialists. Belonging to a union does not make you a socialist, by the way, but I'm sure you already knew that. Question, aren't you trolling? Answer, you're not a troll for speaking your mind in your own forum. What you're doing here is called gaslighting. You're accusing me of doing what you're doing. That's the tactic of fascists. The Nazis gaslit all the time. The Republicans and Democrats often gaslight each other. It doesn't make it mature behavior. Evolve your thinking. Question, aren't you kind of hot-headed? Answer, so we're the punks, metalheads, and a lot of these clone dude bros who only listen to rap. Meet me in person, though. I'm an utter delight. Question, why are you against racial appropriation of black culture? Answer, because you're a racist. The only reason rappers let you get away with it is money. You can be married to a woman and still be a sexist. Imagine if indigenous peoples made the most popular music appreciated by American youth, and instead of flat bills and sportswear with chains, they all walked around in headdresses, smoking long peace pipes, going woo 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 all the time. But at least they wouldn't be dropping the N-word like posers. Yeah, so he thinks that wearing flat bill hats and baggy pants and the like means you're appropriating black culture. However, it's painfully obvious that he actually hates these guys because the young women he wants date them a lot. Women. All men are the same. Same women 3 days later. In a relationship with... That is just a nice guy meme, of course. Question, are you into DDLG and chicks with daddy issues? Answer, I'm not kink-shaming by saying I'm not into kinks. I don't mind being called daddy by girls, but the term daddy issues is inherently misogynistic. Question, you're an atheist. Doesn't the fact that you used to live in a Christian homeless shelter make you a hypocrite? Answer, every major grocery store and franchise restaurant in the US is owned by religious people. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay, honestly, nobody was ever going to call you a hypocrite for staying at a shelter when you're homeless. It's kind of what they're for. Question, do you hate cops? Answer, I don't like condescending cops. I don't like hostile cops. I don't like excessively violent cops. I don't like these traits in anyone. Question, what do you think of people who drop slang all the time? Answer, it's not the majority. It's never been the majority. You sound like you're sucking up to capitalism, which is no longer popular with most American youth, and those who use slang all that often sound like people of low intelligence. Which makes your personality boring, and in turn makes your attitude as appealing to me as Tommy Lahren. You turn me off. If you want to appeal to most older men, be more mature. If you want to appeal to most anyone, don't be a bigot. Lucas, of course, only uses slang when he's trying to appeal to Generation Z, and then sometimes complains about the same slang later. Question, what's your problem? Answer: your foul supremacist attitude towards me. That's an easy way to incur a block on Facebook and Twitter or over the phone from me. Don't start with the gaslighting either, or dig your hole deeper. Cease and desist. Do not continue. Lucas blocked me on Twitter for making videos about him. Saddest day of my life finding out I'm an age-phobic bigot. Question: are you into long-distance relationships? Answer: I live in Spokane. I won't date anyone outside the Spokane Transit Center bus line, which extends to several other towns in the area. I don't drive. I'd rather not mess up the ecosystem further when I live on a bus line. Most young people agree with me. Driving when you live on a bus line is lazy, expensive, and bad for the environment. Your braggadocio is showing. It's unappealing to most people between 18 and 24, and it doesn't impress me either. I'm guessing all this talk about bus lines has something to do with a certain 16-year-old activist. But it makes sense why you wouldn't want a long-distance relationship. This guy has been catfished so many times it's insane. He's only in Spokane in the first place because someone catfished him across the state from Tumwater. Question: you were doing so well in school. You got a 95% in one class and a 97% in another. Why did you drop out of college after 2019? Answer: I didn't drop out. I'll go back if I have a girlfriend by September 2020 or when I have a girlfriend. Noticing girls at school was too distracting, especially since they were becoming attracted to me. You're trying to talk to me and you're blushing, dollface, and I dropped off the honor roll. School needs to be about study, not picking up chicks. I'm trying to be successful. Dollface, he says. Yeesh. Yeah, so he won't go back to school until he has what he wants. Reminds me of Elliot Rodger. Question: what were you doing in school? Answer: I'm pretty good at designing board games, but I'd like to become better at designing board games and make connections with people who agree with me. No one likes to hang out with people who argue with them all the time. I really like that one because he kind of sidesteps his own question. Gets asked what he was doing in school, and all he tells us is that he's pretty good at designing board games. Okay, that's not really an answer. Okay, this is about the cutoff point for my videos, and I think I can get another video out of this FAQ section, so let's just call this part 1, and I'll bring you part 2 later this week if all goes well. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate all the support. Remember to like, comment, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. I also really appreciate everyone who makes it out to cringe at people when I stream. That's on my other channel. Those are always fun, though. There will be another stream very soon here. Maybe not tonight, but soon. Make sure to let me know what you think about the cute older daddy and all the conflicting responses he gives in this section so far. Oh yeah, I'm now up for monetization. We'll see if I'm truly cursed or if they just didn't like my other channel. Have a great night, everyone, and please stop gaslighting the Wern.